at the end of the year, what is it you want? What have you accomplished? Just start from the point of view that it is already done. You've already done it. Right? It's already at the end of the year and you've had a successful year. Well, what does that look like? Write it out. I am. It is January 1st, 2024. I am. All right, guys, Dr. Del Miller's here with personalfitness.com. I hope you're doing great out there. You know, it's another beautiful day. Of course, it is February, but guess what, guys? We're almost at the end of February. So how are those goals going? I always ask you this question every week. How are those goals going? Because see, when we take our minds off the goals we have set, then time just seems to go along, and before you know it, 1 month has already gone by, 2 months have gone by, 3 months will go by, and before you know it, it's the end of the year. So you got to keep your eyes on the prize. You've got to remind yourself regularly what it is that you're about, what it is that you're out to achieve, okay? So today I'm going to share with you, let me back up a little bit. You know, since the beginning of the year, we've been talking about creating your future self, and how to go about creating your future self by learning how to rewire your brain. The importance, I think last time we talked about, you know, the importance of prioritizing the needs of your future self over the needs of your current self. And the reason for that is most of us get caught up in just doing life as it comes at us. All the urgent things that we need to do every day. We've got so many obligations, and unless we really stop to think about it, we're not really working on our future self, right? We're not really working on progressing. We're pretty much almost standing still a lot of the time. Think about this for yourself. With your exercise, are you really making progress, or are you just really standing still? Are you spinning your wheels? Are you doing the same things repeatedly? With your eating regime, your nutrition plan, are you really making progress? Are you making changes? Are you making regular changes? Or do you find yourself doing the same stuff repeatedly? With your other habits, are you making progress, or are you pretty much standing still? If you're not thinking about making progress, then chances are you're not. If you're not thinking about the habits of your future self, if you're not thinking about those daily, chances are you're not practicing the habits of your future self. You're practicing the habits of your current self. And at the end of the year, what you will have is what you have now. Remember, the future will bring whatever you show up with. So if you show up tomorrow with what you have today, well, guess what? That's what you still have. If at the end of the month you show up with what you have now, guess what? That's what you still have. You see, when I go in the gym, I am practicing getting better. I have a goal for the year, and I'm working that goal for the year so that every day I'm getting better at what I'm doing. Right? I think about my eating. I have a strategy, and I'm implementing that strategy, and that strategy usually changes about every 3 weeks, so that I know I'm making progress towards what I'm doing, the goals I've set for myself. Same with my business, same with my personal life. Right? I have a strategy. I have goals that I'm working on achieving, and each day I focus on what can I do today to be more like my future self? What habits, what mindset habits and behaviors can I adopt today of my future self, so that I'm practicing being my future self? I'm not just thinking about it, I'm practicing it every day. What one thing can you do today that's going to make you better tomorrow? How can you show up tomorrow 1% better? But you have to think about that, right? That has to be a conscious choice. That has to be, our efforts have to be intentional. Otherwise, what we're actually doing is just working on our current self. So tomorrow you'll be the same person because you're not really making progress. You're not really changing your old habits to the habits of your future self, to new habits. And until you do that, until you see, to rewire your brain, to change your brain code takes focus, it takes effort, and it takes persistence over time. Otherwise, you might do something, but it won't last. It takes time to change your subconscious. As I said before, all habits are created in the brain, right? All habits are created in the brain. And your brain is like an iceberg. What you see on the surface, that's just your conscious mind. And that's just 5% of the daily habits and the daily thoughts and the daily behaviors. What we're aware of is just 5% of all the habits total that the brain is engaged in on a daily basis. Beneath the surface, we've got the subconscious mind, right? Everything, the things we do that we have mastered, all the subconscious mind is what controls us on a daily basis. That's our real programming. See, the things we become conscious of, when we master them, they go down to the underneath the surface, and that's our programming. That is what controls us on a daily basis. And you go deeper than that, now you have the unconscious mind, the things you're not really aware of, right? All the memories, everything you've ever done in your life since the day you were born is stored in the unconscious. You're just not aware of it, right? We can become aware of it through work, through hypnosis and other psychological processes, but we're not aware of it. But the subconscious mind, we can be aware of the subconscious. Sometimes we are. You get a flash of, oh, yeah, right? Something just popped in your mind. Well, that's your subconscious at work. You can become aware of it if you think about it. If you bring it to the conscious mind, then you're aware of it. Let's not get too complicated here. It's a very simple thing, right? We want to keep this as simple as possible. The point is that if you're not intentional about the things you're doing on a daily basis, then chances are you're not really moving forward. Okay? So today I want to challenge you to start using the power of autosuggestion to rewire your brain and change your habits. Autosuggestion is a powerful psychological tool that's been used for decades. It's often used in self-hypnosis, right? Autosuggestion is a way of programming the brain, changing the programming, because if you think about it, your brain is getting a lot of programming every day. Everything you see and hear and think, you are programming your brain. And a lot of times, the brain is getting a lot of negative programming, right? Think about all the things you say to yourself every day. How many of those are positive? Right? What is your self-talk? All the negative things you say. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, you dummy. Oh, all of those. Well, you're programming your brain with all of that, and all of that is going to sit in there. So think about how challenging it is, especially for those of you who are working on weight loss. It's a very challenging thing, and we beat ourselves up a lot, especially when we fail, right? I work with a lot of clients who they've had a tendency to beat themselves up when they fail, when they can't maintain their restrictive diets. Then they beat themselves up over and over again. And I call this unnecessary suffering. Because believe it or not, people put themselves through a lot of unnecessary suffering, especially when it comes to weight loss, right? You beat yourself up. You can't maintain the restrictions you put on yourself. So what happens? You fail and you beat yourself up. And then you go eat because you feel shitty and you don't like to feel shitty. So you try to drown those feelings out or not feel what you're feeling. That's what I call unnecessary suffering, because the process continues over and over again, repeated. It's a repeated cycle, right? And that's something we do to ourselves. So this idea of autosuggestion, folks, it's not a very complicated idea. You think about it, you do it every day. You talk to yourself every day, right? You're telling yourself things every single day. Your self-talk. Right? So is your self-talk positive or is it negative? Is your self-talk helping you or is it not helping you? So every single day you're programming your brain by what you're telling yourself, what you allow yourself to be exposed to, the negativity in the news, the scrolling on, through videos and other stuff on social. That's all brain programming. You're programming yourself every day. That's why I don't watch the news, because it's programming, it's brain programming. And the news realized that, negativity sells, because negative things really take a hold on your brain 3 times more than positive news. Your brain holds on to negative much more easily than it does positive. So that's why we're bombarded by all this negative stuff, because it affects us more deeply than positive things do. So how do we go about using the power of autosuggestion to rewire the brain, to help us move forward into what we're trying to do? And if you're trying to create your future self, which is, what this podcast really is about, creating your future self, you're trying to do something positive. You're trying to create the best version of yourself. You're trying to be better. You're trying to be the best you've ever been. If that is your goal, part of that might be to lose weight. Part of that might be to create your best body. Part of that might be to, just develop healthier habits, a healthier lifestyle. You can use the power of autosuggestion to do that. And that just means learning to feed your brain on a daily basis the suggestions that you want your subconscious to pick up. And the easiest way I teach my clients to do that is just to write yourself a simple vision statement. Well, what is it you want? Let's say at the end of the year, what is it you want? What have you accomplished? Just start from the point of view that it is already done. You've already done it, right? It's already at the end of the year, and you've had a successful year. Well, what does that look like? Write it out. I am. It is January 1st, 2024. I am. Okay, if you're 250 pounds, you want to be 200 pounds. I am 200 pounds. Right? I am healthy, fit, and strong. Whatever you are, well, own it, claim it. Right? That's important. That's your vision statement. Then you have to, you don't have to do anything, but I would recommend that you include, what are you going to do to get there? You got to give something to get something. Nothing is free. You got to give to get. You have to do something in order to get there. Well, what are you going to do to get there? How did you get there? Well, include, to do this, I have done, what are the top 2 or 3 things you must do in order to get there? That's why I say, let's start at the end with your future self, because it's already done. Your future self has already gotten there. It's a year from now. How did he or she get there? What did he or she have to do to get there? What are the 2 or 3 things, most important things? I call those non-negotiable habits. What are those non-negotiable habits that you need to practice daily in order to get there? Well, own that you are doing that. And then write that, I believe this is already done because I can feel it. I can see it. I can touch it. I can see myself being at a certain weight. I can see myself fitting in certain clothes. I can see myself behaving a certain way. I can see the mannerisms that I have. I can feel the difference in my confidence. I can feel the difference in my attitude towards myself and others, the world. This is how we go about creating change, folks. You got to be able to see it before you can make it happen. So just create that vision statement for yourself. Something that you can just read aloud to yourself every single day. You read it aloud to yourself every single day. That is the auto-suggestion part. By reading it aloud to yourself every single day in a way that you really, really believe it, that it is already done. You believe it. You're reading it. You're reciting it or saying it. You memorize it and you say it in a deeply emotional way, in a very deep meditative state. The best way to get into touching the subconscious is to put yourself in an altered state, a more meditative state, where you're able to shut out the noise around you. So I would encourage you to do so, right? When you're able to just go deep to a place where you really feel and you really believe and this really means something to you, get into that place, get into that state of mind, and then recite your vision statement from that place of mind. That place of it is already done, that place of I am. This is what I am, this is what I have created, this is what I have achieved. Look what I have created. Be Tom Hanks in Castaway. We're talking to Wilson. Look what I have created, right? So that's where you go with this. That's what it means. That's what autosuggestion is. It means every day feeding your subconscious what you want it to feed you back, what you want it to create. Because otherwise, see, the subconscious contains the programming that we have there. And well, think about it. Decades and decades of programming, has it all been really positive? People don't think that, only 5% of our habits are really conscious. So everything else are habits that your brain have created from the things we have repeatedly do over the years. Well, think about it. If you have repeatedly not been taking care of yourself over the years, well, that's the programming that's in there. If you haven't been exercising, haven't been eating the healthiest way, well, that's the programming that's in there. If you have developed certain ways of dealing with cravings, certain ways of dealing with not feeling emotions and all of that stuff, using food as your primary coping mechanism, well, that's what's in there. And telling yourself something once or twice isn't going to change that programming. It's not. It's going to take effort. It's going to take focus. It's going to take getting to the point where what you're doing is effortless. Your new habits are effortless. And the only way to reinforce these habits and get to the point where they're effortless is you got to practice them daily. You've got to tell yourself what it is you have achieved until your subconscious starts to believe it, and then it starts to become a command. Right? It's you telling your subconscious, this is what is happening. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm doing. This is the new reality. So this is a power that you have, right? It's the power of co-creation. We create our own experiences. What you have today is what you have created thus far. Your body today is what you have created. Because it's what you've done. It's where your habits have brought you. It's where your mindset has brought you. What you have today is what you have created. So think about that and know that you have the power to create differently. You have the power to think differently. You have the power to be different. You have the power to do different. Right? So this year, I say the focus of this year, allow this year to be a year where do something different. Don't do what you've always done. Do something different. And I got that from one of my coaches, one of my business coaches. She said, do something different. Let this year be the year you do something different. Don't do the same stuff repeatedly and expect to get something different. Well, if you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. Do something different. This year, do something different. So I'm working on doing a whole lot of things differently this year because I'm looking to achieve some goals. So what about you? Do something different. The power of autosuggestion. Use the power of autosuggestion to rewire your brain to help you reprogram the subconscious so that you're moving towards those goals and your brain is helping you, right? You're recruiting your brain to change your biology so that you achieve your goals faster. And then the change you make will be more permanent as opposed to the temporary change of diets. Okay? All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. Hope this has been helpful as usual. Check out the show notes for all the resources I've got for you. I've got a new set of video and a free ebook, Rewire Your Brain. It's in the show notes. Check out the show notes. I talk about the top 3 things you must do in order to change the brain code to your habits. Because here's the deal, folks. For those of you who are trying to lose weight, weight loss automatically triggers your brain to force you to regain the weight because you're messing with your body's most cherished energy supply, your body fat. And, that's why your body weight is the most regulated system in your body, and you're messing with that. So check out the show notes for my new free video. Well, it's actually a series of videos and the free ebook, Rewire Your Brain, and learn how the top 3 things you must do to lose weight without your body triggering your brain to force you to regain the weight. All right? All right, that's all I've got for you. And as usual, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Take care. Catch you next time.